Alright, and welcome everybody to the final game of this Sunday quadruple header here. I'm Ralphus, your host once again, riding solo as I did all day. Trying something new out here. Final matchup looks to be a pretty good one. We got Best Ever versus Rip and Tear. Best Ever looking for their first win. They're 0-1-1. They tied last week in a 3-round game against Los Maine. In the first week, they had a heartbreaking 3-round loss against TWT. So that's Ross King, Caution, Vinny, and Ion. And it looks like tonight we're going to see Vinny start. We saw Ion in the first week, but I think we've seen Vinny the last 2 weeks here. Rip and Tear, they walked away with a win last week after a 3-rounder. Came back and beat the Spurs. So they're sitting at 3 points right now with Stow, Skull Rush, Desparrow, and Dosu. Unfortunately, Desparrow has missed 2 demos in a row, so he's going to have to actually sit an entire round here tonight, which means that Dosu is going to be starting the first round at the very least, and I guess we'll see what's going to happen after this first round. So we're kind of just going to get right into things here. If you've been watching for the rest of the day, you probably kind of know how the map looks now. And the teams are both ready to play a couple minutes before game time here. And should be a good one. Both teams have been practicing a lot. A lot of practice from both teams. And take a look at the betting real quick, see what the final odds are here. So it looks like BST's favored about 2/3, 66% of money right now sitting on BST. And the game is going to start, so we're going to go right out to mid and we're going to take a look and see what happens as both teams start to push out to mid. And right away, Caution already with the Megasphere gets a grab. He's on his way out the front door. And that is picked up by Ross King, but it is returned. So Rip has a lot of frag power. We saw them win a round in the... No, maybe they didn't win a round there, but they at least scored a flag in the first week with Hardy Ween, a.k.a. Dosu, on their team. So both teams have the flag right now. Ross King with 15 health. That's not a good situation to be in as he sits in the enemy flag room. Meanwhile, Skull Rush trying to make it out to mid. He's able to get the kill on Vinny. Gets the Berserk, so he refreshes his health. He's up to 100. And Ross King still sitting in the enemy base. They don't know that he's there. Skull Rush in his own base as they're able to take down Vinny, but nope, never mind. Ross King is now going over his side. He drops the flag. Skull Rush going to try and come around and get a score here, but he's going to run into 2 BST players who return the flag. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Vinny has grabbed the Rip flag and tries to make it out. He's unable to do so. So, minute and 20 in here, both teams playing pretty tight. They're getting close to, getting these opportunities to score. They've both made it out in the cross at least once. Right now, Best Ever is doing a good job controlling that Megasphere. We saw one of the players just head on in. I'm sure he's going to have a grab here in a moment. And they're also playing a chase defense, so they're not really letting anybody get in. Both teams held up at mid. Mid empty right now. Skull Rush with a grab on his way out. Grabs some health, but not enough. He's down. Flag's returned. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ross King has the flag, and he's down. So we're going to jump back to mid. Kind of watch for this Megasphere. See if anyone's able to grab it. Skull Rush gets a touch, but he's brought down immediately. Right now, all 3 Best Ever players in the mid.
Blue flag returned.
As all of the players start to kind of flirt around that dirt patch, the Megasphere must be getting ready to come up. Meanwhile, Ross King's going to head out to mid. Hopefully his teammates are there to intercept. His teammate takes the the Megasphere. So Ross King's unable to get it, and he drops the flag, unfortunately. Skull Rush grabs the Best Ever flag, and he is able to make it out to mid. He's going to have a little battle here. He loses the duel. The flag is returned. Both flags back in the base. 7 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock. 0-0 in the first round. So far, this game's looking a lot slower in terms of scoring than some of the other games we've seen. But as we saw earlier, that can be busted wide open. Ross King, with 2 health, isn't able to make it to mid. He could have grabbed the Berserk and got that boost to 100 health, but unfortunately unable to make it there. 6 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Still 0-0. Ross King with his kind of signature running style where he kind of looks down at the ground at about a 45-degree angle. And the Megasphere was up. It looks like Rip was able to get a hold of it as the best ever players start to retreat. And it was Stal who got it. He takes a direct rocket thanks to that Mega, but it's not enough to stop 2. Meanwhile, Ross King, it's a good run here. He makes it out to mid. He's across, 15 health. Can he make it all the way in? There is one player to contend with. It is the actual flag runner, and the flag is returned by Rip, so good return by Rip. And they actually take the flag out to mid. And Rip is ferrying that flag. I think 3 touches so far, but Ross King, with a shrewd play, waits in the flag room, waited for Dosu to enter, gets the return. Ross King only has 15 health, and he's able to put it on the stand. So best ever strikes first. 5:32 on the clock, about getting on halfway through the first round here. Caution, makes it across with his own flag. He's going to have to beat 2-3 Rip players chasing him down. So that means that the Rip base is likely open, and Ross King has a Megasphere. So he's going to likely have an unopposed run right out the mid here. And he does. He crosses mid. He's only lost 3 health. He's in his own base. That bodes well for best ever. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Skull Rush not having as easy a time as he's pursued by 2 defenders. Ross King being chased down, but he's got so much health that Stal wasn't able to do anything. He chipped him down, but just one person in that short amount of time is not going to be able to do it. So best ever goes up 2-0 here in the first round. Meanwhile, both flags are out again. Dosu makes it to mid, but he's unable to make it across. And Vinny as well, also taken down, and the flag is returned. So both flags at home, 2-0 here in the first round. As both teams kind of waiting for this Megasphere right now. Megasphere is picked up by Stal, who makes it into the base, but he's got very low health. He picked up the green armor. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ross King, holding, waiting. He's found. Stal's able to find him. Skull Rush with blue armor. Big blue armor. If he could just get some health here. Oh, and a nice try. Almost hit that rocket coming across. Wasn't able to do it. If he would have been free and clear. 3:47 on the clock. As Rip trails by 2 here in the first round. Right now, Ross King grabs the flag. He has blue armor, not enough. I'm going to take a look in mid. As you can see, best ever really kind of taking over that dirt patch. Takes that Megasphere. All 3 players there waiting. Stal on defense on his side. Effective. Skull Rush on the opposite side, running. Tries to get out. He's unable to make it. So far, the frag's pretty even, 96-87. Neither team with a staggering advantage. Best ever slightly ahead. Skull Rush making a nice run here, but with only 5 health left, he wasn't able to cut the corner. Ross King, meanwhile, has the Megasphere. He's going to be rolling right out to mid. He makes it across, 175 health, 65 health, 2 health. Only 1 shot needed to take him down. Is someone going to be there to get him? And they are. Dosu comes around the left corner and is able to clock him. A huge play by Dosu there. Able to prevent that score. Skull Rush with a nice run.
Flag dropped.
Not able to make it out to mid, but Dosu with the blue armor is able to make it to mid, but his health is being chipped down and just not enough. Best Ever is able to return it. 2 minutes on the clock, 2-minute warning. As Stout comes out across, he's blocked. Can the flag be... Nope, the flag is returned. So, minute and 52, Rip gonna have to try and generate some offense here. They've had a couple of close calls, but they haven't been able to win those standoffs. Best Ever able to take advantage. So it looks like a runner was able to get behind Stal here, and it was Rosking. You could see as we were watching Stal's point of view that he turned around with kind of a, oh no, how the heck did someone get in? And it was Rosking. He had the Megasphere. He probably just waited. He was biding his time. He was able to take it across. 3-0. So likely at the end of this first round, unless something crazy happens, Best Ever likely going to take this. Skull Rush makes it across. Flag Runner's going to run into each other. Rosking gets the advantage in that battle. So minute and 57 on the clock. Not a minute, 57, just 1 minute. 50 seconds left. Take a look at Dosu here. Be curious to see. The question going into round 2 is, will Rip keep Dosu, who is warmed up and been playing? Will they keep him in? Or will they swap on over to Disparol and try that lineup? I don't have the data on hand, but I'm pretty sure that we looked before, and the record of teams switching their lineups going into the second round is usually a losing proposition. Usually it does not help a team win.
Red flag taken. Red flag dropped.
So that's going to be it for the first round here. And Best Ever is going to be able to get a win. And I'm sure they're feeling good about that because they are currently winless. So, one more round and they're going to be able to finally get something in the win column there. And it looks like the Sparrow will be coming in 40 seconds from now in the second round. I would have given you the frag count, but I don't know now because Dosu went to the bench and his frags were subtracted from the board. But I can tell you that it was actually, I do have it. I have it here on the website. The frags between the teams were 137 to 124. So BST was able to best them, but only by 13. So not a huge differential there. Looks like Rosking probably got the first Megasphere touch here. And fortunately for Rosking, last week he was plagued by some connection issues. Looks pretty good to go this week. All the teams are looking pretty sharp right now. Take a look at Disparol, who's just come in off the bench, and see what he's able to do. See if he's able to be the game changer that Rip and Tear needs right now. Last week, Rip and Tear went down in the first round, were able to come back and win, so anything is possible. Rosking with the grab here, he has blue armor and health, but got a couple defenders on him, 5 health as he tries to get out of the base, 15, he picks up a couple little bit of health, and for some reason the defenders have lost sight of him entirely, but they are able to get the return there. So 1 minute into the second round here, and no scores to be had yet, but Best Ever leads 1-0 after winning that first round. So we're watching Rosking go back in for another grab here. He picks up some health. He's not full stacked, but he has a teammate. Caution's there to help assist him across the mid. He is spotted by a lot of players from Rip, and they take him down. But at the moment, he is getting the run, so he's the player to watch. He's going to probably try and drop this blue armor, grab that. He's got a good stack. He's going to probably look for a couple little pieces of health as he comes out of here. But Stal is all over him, and for the most part, Stal has been shadowing Ross King pretty well, at least in the first round. You know, Ross King is a great player, not just a good player, a great player, and so is Stal. So it's hard to stop a great runner for 10 minutes straight, and to hold them to only 3 flags is pretty good effort. So Ross King's out to mid, but he is dropped, and Stal is able to return the flag there. About to hit the quarter mark here in the second round. Still 0-0. Take a look at Vinny. We haven't really looked at Vinny this game so far. And it looks like Rip is in mid, ready to grab a Megasphere, but I'm not sure if they were able to get it. Skull Rush has took a big hit there. Big damage. He's going to try and probably get this Berserk. He's able to get it. So he's got full health, 69 armor. Nice. And if they could just get this kill, Rip is on the board. So Rip leads here in the second round, which they need because they're trailing after that first round. Best Ever was able to take that first round. And Best Ever is entering the base with the Megasphere. Ross King on a tear right now, but he's taken down. Just takes too much damage on the way in. Skull Rush doing a great job of really trying to use those Berserks, knowing where they are, when they're available. We haven't seen a lot of that this week. Sometimes we haven't really needed to see it because the first 2 games were so lopsided. But Skull Rush is one of the first players we've really seen putting a lot of emphasis on those Berserk packs, which just basically a mega health pack, take you back to 100 health. Of course, with the drawback that you're going to switch to that fist when you grab it. So right now, Caution has the flag, but he goes down. And on the opposite side, the Sparrow has the flag with 25 health, but he is spotted by Caution. Caution's able to return that flag. Flag's at home. Rip up 1-0 here in the second round, but Best Ever does lead 1-0 in the overall standings here, as they took that first round. 5:44 on the clock. Skull Rush. It's a pretty good stack, but it's not enough to take out Vinny. Take a look at Stal, who steps up. He sees that Best Ever was just able to grab that Megasphere, so I'm sure he's communicated that to his team. The Sparrow, who's sitting in a defensive position. Looks like possibly with the lineup change here in this game that Stal is willing to push out to mid more, and that may be aiding them compared to that first round, where Ross King was able to control that Megasphere so well. Speaking of, Ross King in a battle with Stal. Stal's chasing him with the chain gun, but Ross King does have some assistance. Ross King uses the Skull Rush strategy we were talking about, grabbing that Berserk pack. Flag runners cross paths, and both flags are returned. So, pretty good play by both teams there. Best Ever was in a serious position to score. Stal makes it across. He's got great cover, but only 10 health, and the flag is dropped and returned. Huge play by Best Ever. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, Skull Rush does re-grab the flag, and he holds it. He only has 35 health, so kind of a precarious position. Does he leave this room? He's going to want to wait for a return, most likely. But here he goes. And the opposite flag runner, Caution, is able to take him out, waiting for the return. So Caution gets the kill. His team returns it, and he's able to make it out. Meanwhile, Ross King tries to double up here. He gets a good run. Oh, he tries to grab that Megasphere, but I think that's the second time we've seen that this game, where his own teammates rob him of the Megasphere. But it doesn't matter because Ross King is still able to put it on. So just like that, Best Ever is able to combo into 2 scores. They go from being down 1 to up 1. They put themselves in a position to win this in 2 rounds. 3 minutes, 26 seconds on the clock. All teams in mid waiting for that spawn. Ross King sitting right on top of it. unable to get it. Rip's able to pick up that Megasphere, but Best Ever is aware of it, and they are chasing. Skull Rush, big health, big armor, out to mid. He's being chased, but he's got 22 health. Is he able to put it on the stand?
Red team scores.
Huge run by Skull Rush there. And great cover by his team coming across mid. Best Ever was pursuing fervently, really trying to get to him. And his team is able to soak up some shots. And Skull Rush gets the Megasphere again, so we're just going to keep our eyes on him. He's really preferring these rockets right now. You can see all of Best Ever kind of there in the flag room pursuing. Sparrow's able to get the pickup. Gets the kill. He's out the mid. Can he get the support? Skull Rush gets a pickup, but 2 defenders on him. Not enough. We hit the final quarter. 2 minutes and 25 seconds remain. All tied up here in the second round. But Best Ever does have the 1-round advantage. So Best Ever can put this away with a victory. And Rip really needs to win right now if they want to have a chance at actually winning this game. Skull Rush with the Megasphere. He's able to dance around and get a double kill. Wow, awesome. And he makes it out to mid. He's doing a lot of dancing. Maybe too much for his own good. Best Ever is able to get the return. Ross King going in for a touch. But Vinny's there to grab first. He has the blue armor. He makes it out. But he's dropped. Flag is returned. Minute and 36 seconds on the clock here. Caution. Gets a great kill. Gets a second kill. But there's Stal. Spawns in mid. Able to drop back and get caution. Big play by Rip there to stop a catastrophic caution run, which would have ended this game most likely. Rip's able to get their hands on the Megasphere. Looks like it was Skull Rush, as it has been in most cases. It's do or die time for both of these teams with minute and 3 on the clock. You know, Rip is really looking to get a victory here and have a chance to win this game. And Skull Rush has the means to do it right now. 98 armor, 87 health, but he's pursued. And Caution with just a huge return. Oh my gosh, Caution. A hero move with 48 seconds left on the clock. Prevents Rip from scoring that flag, which they, by all accounts and all means they should have done so. And Vinny is across with 25 health, 32 seconds on the clock. Best Ever in a crazy turn of events here. Goes up 3-2 with 26-25 on the clock. What looked like should have just gone to 3 rounds has just totally turned around. Best Ever not only gets the clutch return by Caution, but the huge capture by Vinny to make this a 2-round affair. And yeah, that's just simply put, Best Ever did a great job of closing out that game. Rip had the chance. You know, they had the opportunity there, and it was well played by both teams. Very close. Both teams were very disciplined. Everyone played really great. You could see the frags are very close, 146 to 142. But it's just not enough. So Best Ever wins this in 2 rounds, or they get 4 points on the board. They're going to be 1-1-1. That's going to be a good situation for them. Meanwhile, Rip, not a good situation for them. They get 0 points out of this affair, even though they played a pretty great game. They just, Best Ever just edged them out, you know, in those key moments, those standoffs. Huge plays in the final minute by Caution and Vinny for Best Ever. And that's the tale of the tape. So, pretty exciting weekend. A pretty exciting Sunday. We got 4 games in a day. That very rarely happens, but it was a lot of fun to watch. And we have 2 more weeks of the regular season coming up. So make sure you head on over to doomleague.org. Those matches will be listed as they're scheduled. They're not scheduled yet, but in the coming day or 2, you can look there and see what time they're going to be up. You can look at the results, see all the stats from all of today's games. You can check out stats from all the different players. You can watch their demos if you'd like. There's a lot of cool things you could do with the doomleague.org website thanks to Blair's genius. He's kind of the mastermind behind the whole thing. And just kind of waiting to see if the results are up here, and they are. So just to give you an idea of what we were looking at in that game, if you look at the stat lines, the Sparrow coming in, a pretty big changer for Rip. They went from losing 3-0 to 3-2, but not enough to put them over the line, because Best Ever just performed too well, especially Ross King in that first game with a 179 rat rating, and that's just incredibly high. So Ross King really kind of carried the team in the first round. Best Ever controlled the power-ups both rounds, 39-33 in the first round, 43-30 in the second round. So Best Ever looking good, and they now sit in the fourth place spot with 7 points. Meanwhile, Rip and Tear down in the seventh spot with 3 points. So Rip and Tear has a couple things they got to get done here as the season goes on. But I guess we're going to see how it plays out. As far as both teams' schedules, Best Ever going to play the winless 0-point Sexual Panthers next week. And then they're going to close out their regular season against the Super Shotgun Spurs. And Rip and Tear is going to face off against Osas Ogapegua, the number 3 team, next week. And they have a final week bout here against the Walking Toilets, the number 2 team. So Rip and Tear's schedule is pretty tough. They're going to have to come up with something big here in these final 2 weeks if they want to make a playoff push. Right now, the standings, Sawyer for Plex, top of the league, number 1 with 12 points. The Walking Toilets and Osas Ogapegua tied for second with 8 points. Best Ever, fourth place with 7 points. Super Shotgun Spurs and Los Mains tied for those last two fifth and sixth spots there at 5 points. Seventh, Rip and Tear and Sexual Panthers have 0 points. They're sitting in 8th right now. All teams are still in it, though. All they need to do is win a couple weeks, and they can make it happen. So well, thank everybody for coming out. As always, we do it early in the day. We do it later in the day. We do it really late in the day. And this is the really late in the day one. So thanks for tuning in if you tuned in for all of them. Doomly.org. Make sure you head on over to the Doom Central Discord. And tune in next week for a couple more games. Thanks for watching.